What is going on, people? Just want to let you guys know before we actually get the video started that I think I figured out the notification thing and how you can go about actually getting a notification every time I either upload a video or I'm streaming, etc. because it's been an issue that I've been trying to tackle and trying to fix for a while. At some points I said, hit the little bell button. A lot of people still aren't getting the notification until an hour, 2 hours into the stream, but I have a new Discord channel which I've had a lot of help with, so shout out to Walker for helping me set this all up. But essentially what you can do is you can go ahead and join Discord. I'm new, at least fairly new to Discord myself, so I'm still kind of feeling myself around and trying to learn everything. But you can easily just join the channel, you can mute the channel and just leave the notifications on, and that'll tell you when the videos or the streams are live. That way you don't actually have to rely on the YouTube notification system, because let's be honest, a lot of you guys either get the notification the next day or an hour or two after, etc., and that's not very helpful. So I'm gonna be leaving the link to joining the Discord server down in the description, and I also leave it as a pinned comment. That way you guys can just click on it and join right away. But yeah, make sure that if anything, just mute the channel itself, but always leave the notifications on, and then that way you'll know exactly when everything's going down. So make sure you do that, and let's go ahead and get right into the video. Now, we found this guy out here with so many wrong things. First of all, Trickster as his leader. Second of all, Monster Hunt gear. Third of all, offline for a very, very long time. So we thought, his kills are a little low, only about 24 million and 700 plus million mites. So we thought maybe we'd help him out with some kills, because, that's what we do. We out here helping people get kills. So we went ahead and actually split into two, because that's what we do. Right now in this kingdom, we don't really have any allies. It's filled with a lot of, I think there's a lot of Chinese guilds. I think there's a couple of Korean guilds. There's like a couple of Russian guilds, and they all have their own like weird little sides. So I don't really know what's going on, but us, unfortunately, right now, we don't really have an ally. So we're just kind of, if we have to go ahead and rally somebody, we're gonna have to go ahead and split ourselves. We actually ended up splitting into three and running a triple on somebody else, but that's gonna be another video. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. This kingdom is kind of running a little dry of targets as well. All of the targets probably require 4 or 5 rallies, so yeah, it's not looking too hot. But this guy with his Trickster, his monster gear, his being offline for so long, we thought, well, I think it's time we'll go ahead and do something about it. So of course, we got the double rallies going. His composition was only about 10 million troops, and when you only have 10 million troops, you have a Trickster as a leader, monster gear offline, etc., it's not gonna really take much to just put a huge dent into you. So there goes the first rally. Bose hits him, gets down to about 650 million, then Magic follows it up, and bow. So both of them actually burned them, and he goes down to 619. Now, I'm not a math major, but I know that that's very close to about 100 million might lost in those first two rallies. So the first one, he was actually in infantry phalanx, so he actually had 11 million soldiers. But like I said, when you have the kind of setups he had, it didn't really matter. So we basically went infantry versus their infantry, which it's technically not terrible considering we didn't really counter each other, but it would have been better if it was cavalry. And his heroes, first of all, Trickster as a leader, very questionable. The other thing that I want to mention is that Petit Devil, purple, also another interesting thing that I see a lot of times in these walls. I cannot preach enough to you guys, and please, after watching this video, go on and change and check your wall, because a lot of times if you change leaders, etc., this can happen to you, where a hero you did not want in your wall can actually be put there randomly. Please do not have green, blues, purple heroes, unless they're just the best choice. Like if you're a newer account and you don't have many options, then okay, understandable. But if you have many gold heroes, don't put a purple hero in your wall just because it looks cool, especially army heroes. People are like, well, Lore Weaver, Berserker, Songstress, they're really good. I'm gonna use them at purple because they're army heroes. If you really think about it, and if you actually do the math, purple heroes are only about 40% as good as the gold counterpart. Not even half as good. Okay, so you're better off going with a gold hero that gives you like an attack and HP stat, like a Demon Slayer, like a Child of Light, a Snow Queen, etc. So keep all of that stuff in mind. Now, with all of that being said as well, let me just say this. I've been seeing a lot of people set up their battalions for infantry, cavalry, and ranged, and in every single battalion, they either don't have their leader on or their leader isn't included. Like for instance, they have Rose Knight as their leader, and then Rose Knight of course is in their cavalry battalion, but then it's not in their range battalion or the infantry battalion. So every time they have to hit, they have to actually change their leader, and I feel like that's just so counterproductive because battalion is there to make it quicker. And again, Rose Knight does give you army attack, so she's useful. And since you have a battalion, like let's say for instance ranged, a lot of you might say, well, Rose Knight is not ranged, why would I use her? Because if you are already using 4 ranged heroes in that battalion, you're gonna have the maximum of the 4 squads. So the 5th one can be an army hero, like a Rose Knight, like a Bomb and Goblin, whatever. So if you're setting up your battalion, have one leader, specifically maybe Rose Knight, because that's the free to play and one of the easier ones to max out once you start doing these things. Just go ahead and have your leader in each battalion and make sure that you have 4 heroes that pertain to whatever hit you're going to be hitting with. So for instance, if it's Rose Knight in a range hit, make sure that you include 4 range heroes with the Rose Knight, or the same thing can apply with the infantry. If it is Rose Knight in an infantry hit, make sure that you have 4 infantry heroes. So that way it's effective. You don't have to constantly change your leader, etc, etc. I've seen that so many times where people are like, oh, it's an infantry hit, it has to always be all infantry, and since my leader is cavalry, I can't include it. That's just not how it works. Okay, so just putting that information out there. Do with it what you will, because can you imagine having battalions which is essentially made for you to have quicker access to your hits, but then you have to change your leader every time you're gonna do those hits. So it's like, what's the point of having these battalions anyway? Either way, we're gonna go ahead and start the match. we didn't really need a timer on here because well, he doesn't really have much left. And there we go. This one takes him down to 523. And now, at this point, we're just waiting for Magic to go ahead and send his attack. And oh my god, did you see all the dead in that? I think it was like 4.4 million just completely obliterated. And listen, when that happens, technically it would have been better right here if we would have waited and probably hit at the same time. But the line of thinking here was this: okay, if we wait for us to be able to march at the same time, we're probably going to be giving up maybe about a minute or so. And what if he comes online and shield? So it's better to just go ahead, hit whenever you can hit, take all the deaths you can, because they're going to be kill shots anyway. So there it is, FY0572, done. Now I don't know, that's such a, is it just me, or is that such a like a bot name? I don't really like. You see all these bot guilds that are out there, don't they always have names like this, like FY or GG0573? Like I don't know. Anyway, this one was a range hit, of course, because he pretty much just had ranged and cavalry in there, so we just absolutely destroyed him. About 2 million T4 dead on that hit. And also, he didn't really have an infantry hero, so that's another reason why he took so much damage from the first rally. And then he shields right after. No! Why? Why you gotta do yours? No! Well, That's what happens. That's why you send the rally when you can at the end. But yeah, appreciate you guys for watching. Go ahead and join the Discord, and until later.